All right, you guys. So, very short workout today. I did the elliptical, I did my mobility training, but everything else, you guys, I just kind of stopped feeling it. So, I'm big on something is better than nothing. So I decided to start with some heavy RDLs. I am using 70-pound dumbbells. This is a new PR for me. I have never used this much. And I'm actually pleased with my grip strength for these because 70-pound dumbbells, I don't know if you've gripped them before, they're pretty freaking heavy. And the fact that I was able to hold on to them for the full set is crazy. So I did 3 sets of heavy RDLs. All right, so next I decided to work back. You know, I'm not gonna do a workout without hitting my back, duh. I love working back. That is by far one of my favorite muscle groups to hit. So I'm doing an isolation row here. Some gyms have them, some don't. So when I see it, I always make sure to do it. So I have 2 25s and I believe 2 10s on each, no, 2 45s, excuse me, and 2 10s on each side. And I'm trying to hit between 10 to 12 reps. Nice, slow, and controlled, as you guys can see. And I like doing unilateral stuff. So sometimes when I do this, I'll literally just do one side at a time. I don't know, I just feel like I get a better squeeze on my lat when I do this. But I've also done them where you pull back both sides at the same time. It's really your preference and what you prefer. But yep. 3 sets of 10 to 12. And then last but not least, I decided to end the day with some bicep curls. I have a 45-pound plate and I'm just gonna curl. I think I hit like 10 reps. You don't have to fully extend your arm all the way when doing these. You kind of want to keep somewhat of a bend in your arm so your bicep doesn't get a break at all, like it's being contracted the entire set. These were pretty brutal, and yeah, great way to end today's workout.
Woo-wee. You guys, it is cold as hell. I know it's been a while since we've done a car chat. Great workout, right? Short, to the point. Listen, sometimes it's better to do something than nothing. I apply that with the gym all of the time. Some days I'm short for time, or I might just mentally not be there all the way. But I'll still come and do something, right? So whether that's just getting on a cardio machine, maybe you only do 2 sets of something instead of 3. Obviously, you don't want to always do that, right? But some days you just gotta just do what you can. All right. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Something is always better than nothing. And over time, as you keep doing something, you'll get better and better at doing something. All right. So anyways, I was going to, well, I still might. I don't know if you guys have been noticing, I've been making some videos outside of some popular restaurants, just sharing the nutritional facts with you guys, giving y'all pieces of information, dropping some gems. For those of you guys who are looking to lose weight, maybe you don't realize how many calories is in a particular thing. So today I was going to go to Popeyes, stand outside of Popeyes and do a video. But y'all, it is cold as hell. It's one thing to be cold, but it is cold and windy. Like when you sprinkle some wind on the coldness, it just makes it unbearable. I got my scarf and everything. So I don't know. We'll see. Okay. We are in December, you guys. It's December. Time is moving very fast. Maybe it's just me. Maybe you don't notice the way I notice. But time is moving extremely fast. We are literally just a few weeks out from the first of the new year. Okay. So, what are you going to do differently? Let's start mentally preparing, right? Because I know some of you guys still going to wait till January 1 to start. And that's okay. Whatever floats your boat. I used to be the same way. Every year, for the longest time, my New Year's resolution was to lose weight and save money. It was like a pattern. It was always on repeat. And I never was able to accomplish that. I would start off strong, and somewhere in the mix, I don't know, somewhere in the mix, I just won't doing it. And that was the pattern every single year. When I actually buckled down and lost weight this go around, it wasn't even in January when I started. I started in May, the Tuesday before Memorial Day weekend. That's when I started. So it wasn't January 1. It wasn't on a Monday, right? I know a lot of people like to wait till Monday to get some shit together, right? It was on Tuesday. And I have been more consistent, as you guys can see, by not going with tradition of January 1, New Year, New Me. Monday is the day I'm going to start, all the stuff that we do, all the excuses that we make to continue to be the same. So let's get our minds right. What are we going to do differently so that if you are that person that's going to wait till January 1 to start your diet or start going to the gym, or even if you just want to change some things about yourself, maybe mentally, maybe you want to save some money, whatever the goal is for you, what's going to change between today and January 1 for you? Because nothing just magically happens. You got to put in work for whatever it is that you want to accomplish. Just because it's January 1, 2025 doesn't mean that you are magically going to be this new and improved person. No. That takes a very long time to achieve, through discipline, through consistency, through not allowing your excuses to get the best of you, for just completely changing your mindset. And a lot of you guys, I used to be the same way, but a lot of the time we think that because it's a certain date, it's just going to change for us. And that's not the case. Why do you think that so many people start their weight loss journey January 1 after the holidays? They get gym memberships and all these things. They buy some new gym clothes. They get some healthy food. And then by week 3 of January week 3, or maybe even they make it through January into February, but they slowly go back to the way they used to be. Why do you think that is? Because they never changed what was going on in here. I started to focus on my mental health. Okay, so like I said, I started my journey this go around May, the Tuesday before Memorial Day weekend, but I had already been going to counseling. I had already been changing who I was, seeing the world differently, changing my perspective on things, doing the inner work, right? Working on myself. The inner work meaning changing my mindset, changing who I was around, changing my schedule, my routine, not even just like physically and, eating. That stuff just followed. But I'm just talking about like being more intentional with my time, not spending so much time on social media, mindlessly scrolling, being intentional with the conversations that I have with the people in my life, right? Not conversing about celebrity gossip or, stuff that's uplifting. I had started that journey months and months and months before I buckled down and decided, okay, I want to try to lose weight. Because when you start to love yourself internally, when you start to fix your insecurities, when you start to change your mindset, the weight loss and the getting in shape, that follows. Because, how do I put this? I'm all for body positivity. You should love yourself no matter how big you are or how small you are, right? And never allow society to make you feel otherwise. So just because society standards may try to make you feel like being 100 pounds overweight is extremely ugly, that doesn't mean that's what you have to accept, right? But on the flip side of that, it's also about taking care of your body. Unfortunately, our bodies were not designed, right, to carry excess weight. If it was, we wouldn't have knee problems, we wouldn't have back problems, we wouldn't have type 2 diabetes, we wouldn't have high blood pressure, we wouldn't have all of these side effects of being obese, right? And I experienced a lot of those side effects, always being winded, breathing really loud, snoring. I was experiencing so many side effects, right? Okay, so when you start to truly love yourself, like really love yourself wholeheartedly inside and out, you no longer want to treat yourself like that. Okay? You no longer want to eat the foods all the time that make you feel like shit. Because it may taste good going down, pause, but it doesn't make you feel good in the long run. I'm talking about feeling. We're not even talking about looks. We're just talking about feeling, your physical feelings. Being out of breath, being tired, being sluggish. That doesn't make you feel good. Okay? So when you really work on yourself up here, I believe that, the way you treat your body overall changes. Whether you need to lose weight or not. I think you're just going to start exercising because it makes you feel good, right? I think you're just going to start eating better because it makes you feel good. We're not even, like I said, we're not even talking about looks. We're just talking about how we feel on the inside, okay? But when you don't love yourself, when you haven't healed yourself internally, that's when you start to indulge in eating a lot of food, binge eating. Some people it might be alcoholism. I used to drink extremely heavily. I didn't love myself. Some people it may be doing drugs, smoking weed, you know, having a whole bunch of sex, right? There's a list of vices and things that we indulge in when we don't feel good about ourselves. But when you start to feel good about yourself, you stop a lot of those things because you realize that's not really making you feel good. That's just putting a Band-Aid over whatever issues you have going on internally, right? So how do you stay consistent come January 1? If you're going to wait till January 1, okay? Like for me, I feel like we can start right now today, but I know some of y'all a little hard-headed, so we just gonna say January 1. What are you gonna do differently come January 1 so that you can be successful on your journey this time around? You gotta work on what's going on up here. It's so many and that's the thing, I made a video about this the other day. I learned this concept, this principle, I would say like a year ago. It's not you that's making you feel the way you do. Whatever internal battles you're struggling with, it's the world outside of you. It's the people you're around. So let me give you guys a few examples in my own personal life. There was a time where I hated being dark skinned, but I wasn't born hating my skin color, right? No child is born hating anything about themselves. Kids are so innocent, they're full of dreams and ideas and aspirations. But over time, the experiences that they experience, the things that happen to them or happen to you or happen to me, mold them and, changes their perspective on life and changes their perspective on themselves. It wasn't until I got to high school, like I knew I was black. That wasn't new information to me, but I never thought about my skin tone and how black I was, how dark I was until I got to high school. I started to be bullied about my skin tone. And the first time it happened, I was so confused because, in my mind, it was so innocent. I thought if you were black, you were black. I never looked at, someone who was light skinned as being better than, or someone who was darker than me being less than. I never considered that. It never crossed my mind. I just knew you were black, or I knew I was black. But once I started to be bullied on my skin tone, my perspective of how I viewed myself changed. I started to feel ugly because of the thoughts and opinions that other people had about dark-skinned people. And, today I understand that when people are making fun of you or trying to make you feel bad, it's because they feel bad. They don't like themselves, okay? It's a projection. And so they were projecting. And that's the thing. It was never a light-skinned girl that made fun of me. It was never a white person that made fun of my skin tone. It was always other brown-skinned people. But that's because they were insecure about their skin tone. So they were projecting their insecurities onto me, right? And that happens all of the time in our day-to-day life. And as you get older, you might start to see that. Some people never see that. But I feel like a lot of the times the reason why we have these limiting beliefs on ourselves, the reason why we feel like we can't do stuff, the reason why we have these insecurities and, the self-doubt is because of the people we're around or used to be around that have put their thoughts and beliefs and opinions onto you, and you accepted that. Okay, so now their reality has become your reality. So maybe you have parents who aren't the most supportive. Maybe your parents never told you that you could do anything that you wanted to do. And so over time, as you grow up, you start to believe that you can't do everything that you want to do. It's impossible, right? Maybe you're around other people who are overweight, and maybe they have never been successful in their journey of losing weight. And so here you are trying to lose weight, and you might not get the most support from them. And so you start to believe, well, maybe I can't lose weight. Maybe I am just like them. Maybe I'm just going to always be overweight. But that's because those are their projections that you have accepted, the world outside of you. So I'm telling you this because a lot of times, most of the time, I would even say all of the time, you think that you can't do something because you're around other people, or you used to be around other people who thought that they couldn't do something. Sometimes we're in toxic relationships, abusive relationships, and that relationship could have ended years ago. But you never healed yourself fully from that relationship. So whatever that ex told you, whatever insecurities that ex made you feel, you have carried with you throughout the years, and that's why you feel the way you feel about yourself today. Okay? Understand that what someone else thinks doesn't have to be what you think. People on the internet tell me all the time I should cover up. I have too much cellulite. But just because that's what they think doesn't mean that's what I have to think. Okay? I don't have to believe that cellulite is ugly because someone else thinks that. Right? Why do I have to accept their belief as true? I don't. That's a choice, and I'm choosing not to. There are people who only vote Democrat for whatever reason. There are people who only vote Republican for whatever reason. But that doesn't mean that's what you have to do. Do you get what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that their beliefs have to be accepted by you. We live in a world full of projections. Everyone is just spitting out how they view the world, how they think things should be. But that doesn't have to be what you think. Somewhere along the lines, whether it was in childhood, college, adulthood, you stop believing in yourself. Maybe you never witnessed someone do amazing things. I have never been around an entrepreneur until these past few years. My personal trainer is an entrepreneur, and my mentor is an entrepreneur. But before that, everyone I knew worked a 9-to-5. But I felt like there was something wrong with me because I didn't want to work a 9-to-5. And I'm around a whole bunch of people, from family and coworkers and friends, who were miserable, right? And I'm not saying all people who work 9-to-5s are miserable. I'm just telling you who I was around, who was miserable, who was working a 9-to-5. Okay, that's it. So because I'm around people who are miserable in the 9-to-5, hate their job, just living day to day, I'm feeling like there's something wrong with me because I don't want to live that life. And I was really depressed about it. And I thought there was something wrong with me because I didn't want to have kids in my mid to late 20s. I thought there was something wrong with me. I really did. It was a very dark place. I hated my job. I hated the fact that I wasn't desiring kids at that moment. Do I want kids? Yes. But I'm seeing everybody on Facebook having kids, people I went to high school with, college with, people having kids, starting families. And I don't desire that at that moment. I thought there was something wrong with me. The world outside of me, because that's what I was around. But I realized and I learned I don't have to accept that if that's not what I want to accept. That doesn't mean that there's something wrong with me because I see things differently. Okay? You have to get comfortable with spending time by yourself or spending time with like-minded people. Honestly, I think you need to spend more time by yourself than with anyone so that you can reprogram your mind, so that you can get people's opinions and thoughts and beliefs out of your head, because it is toxic. There's so many people in this country. I've never traveled the world, so I can't say the world. I can only say this country and, my city and my experience. But there are so many people in this country who have somewhere along the line lost their glow. They lost their dreams. They lost the ability to believe in themselves. They lost the feeling of knowing that they're beautiful, that they're handsome, without wigs and lashes and makeup and designer clothes and expensive cars. People think that you need all of these things, everything outside of you, to feel good about yourself. But that doesn't make you feel good about yourself. That's the world outside of you. It all starts internally, which is why I always stress the importance of going to counseling. But so many people think they're above that. So many people can't get out of their pride. So many people can't get out of their ego. So many people think that they don't have a problem. We all have a fucking problem, okay? I have a problem. You have a problem. They have a problem. He has a problem. We all have problems. But unfortunately, half of the people who are going to watch this video are going to think that there is nothing wrong with them. They don't need to go to counseling. Everything is kosher. But that's not true. There is something inside of you that has limiting beliefs. And sometimes you don't even know why. But as you go to counseling, you keep doing the homework, you start to dive into it, you start to see what was going on, right? So if you want to be successful come January 1, on your weight loss journey, your fitness journey, whatever journey you're on, you have got to fix what's going on up here. You got to stop allowing people in the internet and people in your day-to-day life to make you feel like you're less than or that you can't do something. It's got to stop because it's not getting you anywhere. Year after year goes by and you haven't reached the goals that you've had for yourself because you can't fix what's going on inside. But the reason you can't fix what's going on inside is because you have too many external opinions and feedback that you are allowing to be true. You're not stupid, you're not lazy, you're not ugly. But you're allowing everyone else to make you feel that way. You're allowing everyone else to make you feel insecure. You're allowing that man, if you're a woman, you're allowing that man to make you feel like you're not worthy. You're allowing that woman, if you're a man, to make you feel like you're not shit. You're allowing people to talk to you any type of way, and you're accepting that as okay. You're allowing your managers to make you feel like you're not a good employee. You're allowing your coworkers to make you feel like they're better than you. You're allowing your parents to dictate your life even though you're a grown-ass adult. You're allowing social media to make you feel like if you don't have a BBL, you're not as physically attractive. The world outside of you. But you weren't born thinking that. Society made you think that. People you're around made you think that. And you have accepted that as true. The reason why I'm so confident in myself is because I don't have a lot of friends. I don't have external thoughts and opinions dictating how I feel about me. I used to. And that's why I was so fucking insecure. Because the thoughts and beliefs that they had didn't match what I thought. And so it was this internal battle. going on. It was me thinking one thing, but trying to accept what society makes me think should be right. And it was a struggle because that wasn't me. And so for years I felt depressed because I couldn't be myself, because what society is making me feel is right is not right for me in here. So I had to go to counseling to fix that. I had to go to counseling to realize it's okay for me to be who I am and not feel bad. Ooh, excuse me. Not allow other people to make me feel bad. Not allow other people to make me feel insecure. Not allow how certain people feel about dark-skinned women affect how I feel about my dark skin, right? I had to heal myself, and I did. And so what you see today is a reflection of all of the work that I've done over the years to heal myself. Okay? So I hope you listen. I hope you understand what I'm putting down. You know, I want the best for you. You can lose weight. You can be consistent. You can be disciplined. I think a lot of it has to deal with what's going on up here, at least to stay consistent with it. You know, we can all start off strong, but over time, we fall off because we never healed ourselves within. And that's with anything, not just weight loss. That's with, if you want to start a business, if you want to get a degree, whatever it is, whatever long-term goal you have to fix what's going on inside to stay consistent, to stay disciplined, to believe that you are worthy of achieving that goal. All right. All right. So let me show you guys what I got for my post-workout meal. Non-dairy yogurt, blueberries, chocolate chips, 1 tablespoon of chocolate chips, and my homegrown homemade granola. Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm gonna eat. I'm hungry. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.